today's video, I'm going to take a look at the differences between face-to-face, hybrid, and online course offerings for math classes. Making this video mainly for the reason of you watching this video to get an understanding of what's the best fit for you. Do you learn better in a face-to-face? Do you learn better in a hybrid setting or an online setting? Or maybe you don't even know the differences, and that's why you're watching this video, to see what is going to be the better fit for you as you register for your classes at any point. And now with hybrid and online having a much more relevant presence in higher ed education, it is good to understand what is expected of you as a student as you enter a hybrid classroom or an online classroom compared to a traditional face-to-face course offering. And I am teaching I'm teaching all three offerings in the next upcoming semester, teaching a couple face-to-face, a couple hybrids, and an online section. And I've taught online for about 5 years now, but I always worry about my students entering the classes not really fully understanding what is a hybrid class, what is an online class, what is expected of me outside of this classroom. So I really want this video to be that helping point of, okay, when I'm in a hybrid class, this is how much work I should expect outside of the classroom or an online class. So first, let's start talking about what happens in these different classes. So face-to-face is exactly what it sounds like. It's 100% lecture, or 100% in person. So it's you in the classroom, teacher's there, you're taking notes. So you should expect in a face-to-face class all of your lecture to be in class, all of your quizzes, exams. I mean, yeah, you could have take-home quizzes, take-home exams, but you should expect all of those assessments to be mostly given in person, pencil and paper, or if you have like computer lab or something, maybe on a computer in person though. But you should expect 100% of your class time to be in person. You should not expect the teacher to say, all right, go home and learn this section of content and then come back and we will go over that. Like, I don't think that would happen in a face-to-face. It does sometimes, but the expectation is that you should probably expect the teacher to instruct fully all of those lessons and everything to be face-to-face in person. So that's a face-to-face, and I'll come back to that and talk a little bit more. I want to go down to online because hybrid is like, this is where the line starts to blur between, is this more online, is this in person? So let's talk about online real quick. So online is 100% online. You should not expect to go into the classroom to see the teacher, with the asterisk there of some online classes do require testing to be done in a testing center, or I have worked with some teachers who will schedule, everyone's going to come in, even this is online class, everyone's going to come in Wednesday, April 15th, and we're going to take this exam in this classroom. That I've seen teachers do that. I've seen that expectation, but mostly there is an expectation on some online classes of exams in person. So there's 100% online with a little bit of an asterisk on exams though. There is some teachers who will just do, kind of smudged it there. Some exams will be done in like a testing center. Now, what if you're taking a class, you live in Arizona, you're taking a class through Wisconsin, how does that work? Most teachers will work with like a testing center in your area. Like if you go to a local community college or a local college that has a testing center, most teachers will work with that testing center. Like you probably have to do all the legwork as like go to that college, see if they'll accept taking the exam, like if allow you to take another school's exam in their testing center. I know in the area that I'm in, that happens a lot. There's local colleges all around that work together and allow students in other colleges to come to them and take their exams, and then they send it over to the teacher. So just definitely look into that and see, is this class I'm about to take requiring a proctored exam or not? But in an online class, you should expect all of your learning to come pretty much on your own. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to have to be reading the book and doing the problems on your own. Some teachers will provide like lessons, like online videos. Like I provide my classes videos for the most part, but a lot of it is going to be on you finding all of that extra knowledge, finding all those extra answers to those questions. Now, your teacher should be available for office hours and stuff like that and emails, but you should not expect to have like a direct instruction from that teacher. Everything's online in an online class, as you would think. Let's talk about hybrid. So hybrid, the expectation here is 50% in person and 50% online. That comes with very different ideas of what is in person, what is online. Is the in-person part direct instruction, or is the in-person part we're going over homework or doing group work? Like, what does that look like? What am I doing online? Am I teaching myself lessons and then going in for the in-person part for just quizzes and assessment? Like, what does that mean? All of this depends on the teacher, depends on the school, depends on the policies, depends on their definition of hybrid. I've worked at several different colleges where hybrids looked very different, even just from coworker to coworker at some different colleges. Like, this is how they do their hybrid, this is how they do either. Like, there's difference of opinion, and quite honestly, it's difference of class level. If you're taking like a developmental math course, that teacher might take a completely different approach with a developmental math course than they would a calculus hybrid class. So that's another thing where you have to factor in. But what you should expect is 50% in person. So that means half of the time you should be in a classroom doing something. I don't know what that time is going to look like, but you should be doing something, whether it's the teacher's going to teach you one section in person and then you're expected to go home and learn another section on your own, or maybe you're going to learn all of your content online and then the in-person portion is answering homework questions or just doing further practice. I know for me, I prefer the hybrid format, at least for me, my experiences, to be a little bit more at the in-person. It's us doing lecture and teaching that content, so you're learning in person, and then the online portion would be a lot heavier on the practice and further that understanding, where there will be some extra steps in making sure that you understand and learning new sections, but most of it would be the learning would happen in the in-person, and the practice and that reinforcement happens on the online. So where do quizzes and exams fit into a hybrid class? And that's really where that's extremely, extremely teacher dependent. Some teachers will have the in-person portion be all your exams, where 5 days out of the semester, you'll take an exam those 5 days or 4 days or however many exams that you're going to take. Some teachers will have you go to the testing center to take an exam. If you're taking that, they'll think of that as like the online portion. I don't know. I can't tell you exactly what to expect for the exams and assessments because every single teacher is different and every school is different. Some schools allow to send their students, even in hybrid classes, to the testing center. Some teachers will just give you a take-home. Like it really just depends from teacher to teacher, school to school, especially with the hybrid. But with that being said, kind of combining these two with hybrid and online, the expectation at the end of the day, though, is you should expect that you are doing work at home outside of that classroom and really staying on top of it. Like these two classes, hybrid and online, the most successful students in those classes are those students who know how to be the successful student. Like, you know how to time manage, you know how to set it aside away from personal, like if you like to play video games or like to watch TV or whatever you like to do, set that time away so you are focusing on, like, I need to do 3 hours of this class today because I didn't have time the rest of the week. I need to get this done. Like, that's what the difference is between a successful student in an online class and a hybrid class compared to a face-to-face. Because the face-to-face, you could blow off class a couple times. You really could, depending on how strong you are as a student. Like, you could blow off class a couple times and probably be okay, and not do a couple homework assignments, probably be okay as long as you're showing up for some important lectures and catching all those exams. You'll probably be okay. If you might get like a C, that's not extremely great or anything, but you'll probably pass as long as you're doing a good portion of the work. Where online, if you try to blow off something, that is going to have a really big impact because no one's there to explain it to you, right? Like, there's no one there to help you further that knowledge. It's all on you. And that might apply to hybrid. If you miss a couple days of the in-person portion for hybrid, that could really hurt you, because then the online, like depending on the teacher, the online could just be like, do practice, like, reinforce those skills, make sure you understand what we did in class, because we don't have time in class to practice. Like I like in my face-to-face classes, I like to lecture and give my classes practice time and reinforce, make sure you're understanding your mistakes, how to not make those mistakes again. We're on and hybrid online, like we don't have that luxury of, all right, you made a mistake right now in class. Now when you go home, do it correctly and understand what mistake you made. You don't have that. You don't have that luxury. So you really have to be on top of it as a student and understand how to be successful on your own. Now, what's best for you? That's your decision. What kind of learner are you? Do you need a teacher to tell you, here's how you do the problem? And you prefer that face-to-face interaction? Maybe your life right now requires a more hybrid online where you only have to meet half the time in person, so then you can go to your job and take care of the rest at 50% online at home, and maybe that's better fit for you at the time. Or maybe everything needs to be online. Maybe you just do not have time to carve out 3 hours of two days a week to go to a school and take in-person classes. It really just depends on you. You can be successful in any of these three formats. You have to want to be successful, is really what it all comes down to. You have to want to succeed in these three formats. You cannot go into anything having this mentality that you are already defeated, or you're not good at math, especially, this is a math channel, but you're not good at math, or you're not going to be successful. Like any of these three formats, you're not going to be successful then with that type of mentality. So you really want to be positive going into it, and really want to be the most positive and on those online formats, because this is almost all on you. Even if the teacher does make videos and they say, hey, watch this video, teacher's not there to make sure you're watching those videos. So that's completely in your hands. So as you move forward, making those decisions of what classes to take in the upcoming semesters, hope this video helps you out making that decision, what's best for you. Just do want to say one more time, the hybrid format, it really is going to depend on the teacher. So I would ask around at your local college of what college you're going to go to. Ask your friends, did they take this teacher, that teacher, what was it like? Because it could really, really be different. It could be teachers are really going to teach in this in-person portion, then you're practicing, or they're going to expect you to learn on the online portion, and then you're practicing in class. Who knows? So you got to see for yourself. But hope this helps, and thanks for watching.